There is a sound in the wilderness that freezes even experienced hunters. Not the roar of a bear, not the scream of a mountain lion, but the distant, coordinated howl of wolves. Because when you hear one wolf, there are usually more watching from the dark. In 2010, in the remote forest near Chinook Lake, a young teacher named Candace Berner was walking alone along a frozen trail. Hours later, rescuers found only blood in the snow and massive wolf tracks circling the scene like shadows around dying light. The autopsies revealed something horrifying. She had not been scavenged. She had been hunted by a pack of gray wolves. For centuries, humans believed wolves feared us, but deep in the frozen wilderness, that fear disappears. And when it does, the forest becomes a killing ground. The gray wolf is one of nature's most intelligent predators. Once dominating huge regions from Siberia to North America, wolves evolved into perfect endurance hunters. Unlike big cats that rely on sudden ambushes, wolves are patient executioners. They study weakness, they test fear, and once the pack commits to an attack, escape becomes nearly impossible. A wolf pack operates with terrifying coordination. Every member has a role. Some chase the prey forward while others move silently to the sides, cutting off escape routes before the victim even realizes it is surrounded. Wolves do not rush blindly into violence. They wear their prey down slowly, forcing exhaustion, panic, and mistakes. Ancient humans feared wolves not because they were monsters, but because they hunted exactly like humans did. Strategically, cooperatively, and without mercy. Everything about a gray wolf is engineered for destruction. An adult male can weigh over 170 pounds, but its true weapon is endurance. Wolves can run for hours across snow-covered terrain without slowing down, reaching speeds close to 40 miles per hour while tracking prey through forests, mountains, and frozen valleys. Massive shoulder muscles absorb impact while powerful tendons allow them to move with near-silent precision through darkness. But the true horror lies in the jaws. A gray wolf's bite force exceeds 200 psi, powerful enough to crush bone beneath its teeth. Its long canines are not designed for quick kills. They are built to grip, hold, and tear. Once a wolf bites down, it shakes violently, ripping flesh and rupturing muscle fibers. Packs often target the legs first, crippling prey before delivering fatal wounds. And unlike many predators, wolves can be psychologically terrifying. Sometimes they do not attack immediately. Sometimes they follow silently from the tree line, watching and testing reactions while waiting for weakness to appear. Survivors of wolf encounters often describe the same feeling, the horrifying realization that they are no longer alone. Footsteps in deep snow, shapes moving between trees, glowing eyes appearing briefly before vanishing again into darkness. Wolves rarely hunt from one direction, they surround, they isolate. And during brutal winters, when food becomes scarce, the line between predator and nightmare begins to disappear. The wilderness surrounding Chinook Lake is isolated, silent, and deadly during winter. In March 2010, villagers reported wolves behaving strangely. Packs were approaching homes and roads more frequently, showing less fear of human presence. Then Candace Berner vanished. Search teams later discovered drag marks in the snow alongside multiple wolf tracks. Investigators confirmed she had suffered fatal predatory injuries caused by wolves. It became one of the first confirmed fatal wolf attacks in modern American history. The most chilling detail was not simply the attack itself, but the behavior leading up to it. The wolves had reportedly been losing their fear of humans for weeks. Hunger and repeated exposure had changed the balance. The predators were learning. In the brutal winters of Siberia, stories of wolf attacks have haunted villages for centuries. Historical records describe starving packs surrounding isolated settlements during periods of famine and war. Livestock disappeared first, then travelers vanished from snowy roads. Witnesses described hearing screams during blizzards, before discovering only blood trails and wolf tracks leading into the frozen forest. During severe winters, villagers often stopped traveling alone entirely after dark, because once night fell and the howling began, everyone understood what waited beyond the safety of the firelight. Experts believe extreme environmental conditions can drastically alter wolf behavior. When natural prey populations collapse, desperation transforms cautious predators into aggressive hunters. And unlike solitary predators, wolves gain confidence from numbers. A single wolf may hesitate before approaching a human, a starving pack may not. In remote regions of northern Canada, experienced outdoorsmen have reported terrifying encounters with wolves displaying investigative predatory behavior. One hunter described waking in the middle of the night to complete silence, no insects, no birds, only breathing outside the tent. When he shined a flashlight into the darkness, he saw multiple pairs of glowing eyes staring back at him. The wolves did not attack immediately. Instead, they circled the campsite for hours, adjusting their positions every time he moved. Wildlife experts later explained that predators sometimes assess whether a target is weak, injured, or vulnerable before deciding to strike. That is what makes wolves so terrifying. Not blind aggression, but calculation. Humans fear wolves for a deeper reason. Because they mirror us, they cooperate, communicate, strategize, and hunt together with terrifying efficiency. For ancient humans, wolves were not simply animals. They were competitors. Intelligent hunters surviving in the same brutal wilderness. That fear survived for generations through myths and legends. The beast in the forest, the glowing eyes beyond the campfire, the creature waiting silently in the dark. Those stories were not born entirely from imagination. They were warnings shaped by survival. The gray wolf is not evil. It does not kill for revenge or cruelty. It kills because evolution designed it to survive at any cost, and survival in the wild is merciless. When winter strips the land bare, when prey disappears, and when starvation spreads through the forest, the silence changes. The shadows begin to feel alive. Deep beyond the last human trail, wolf packs still roam through frozen darkness exactly as they did thousands of years ago. Patient hunters, silent executioners, perfect predators. Humans often believe civilization has conquered nature. But the wilderness does not care about roads, weapons, or technology. Out there beneath the trees, human rules mean nothing. Only instinct matters, only hunger survives, because nature does not forgive, and these killers do not show mercy, respect the boundary, or pay the price.